If your videos aren't getting views, it's because you don't understand the views formulas. My name is Brian and I've generated $20 million for my clients through YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through the exact views formula that has been reviewed by Neil Mohan, the CEO of YouTube. And that very views formula is that views equals click-through rate times watch time times viewer satisfaction, and I'm going to explain to you what each of these variables are and how exactly you can maximize it for yourself. So first of all, we can start with click-through rate. So click-through rate, as defined, is the click-through rate percentage, which is the number of people who click on a video. So let's say that YouTube feeds your videos to 100 people. So they give 100 impressions to your video. And impressions is not the same thing as views. Impressions is actually the number of people that YouTube feeds your video to on the homepage or on suggested video. So people see your video, but they may not necessarily have clicked on it and turned on into a view. So the click-through rate percentage is basically the number of impressions that turn into views. So let's say your impressions for your video is 100 and then you get views is 5, right? So that means your click-through rate percentage is 5%. So really, if you are focusing on your click-through rate percentage and you actually try to get it up and you go from 5 views to, let's say, 10 views, then you immediately double the number of views because you are doubling the number of people that you feed your video towards, and that will actually click onto your video. So this is a really crucial factor, which is your click-through rate. And your click-through rate really is affected by your T&T, right, which is your title and thumbnail, right? So focusing on the psychology and the power of your title and thumbnail and the packaging of your video is how you actually increase the number of people who click onto your video and the number of people who actually watch your video, right? This is by far the most important metric out of the three, because if you do not get the click, then nobody is going to watch. So when you think about the viewer's journey, right, you think of, okay, they go onto the homepage, they see your video, right? And after they see your video on the homepage, they have to click on your video. And then after they click on your video, they have to watch the first 5 seconds, and then they have to watch the first 30 seconds, and then they watch the rest of the video. And then it's like, what do they do after? Right? So you must think about, the process in which your viewer goes through from these very lens, right? So let's say they're on the homepage, they see your video, and if they don't even click on your video, which is dictated by your click-through rate, how strong your title and thumbnail is, really everything that happens after this, the first 5 seconds, the first 30 seconds, and the rest of the video, that doesn't matter at all. So we want to maximize our click-through rate by maximizing the strength of our title and thumbnail by making it as clickable as possible to the ideal demographic that we want to get the click from. So that's number one. Number two is your watch time, right? So watch time is pretty self-explanatory, right? Watch time equals watch time. It's how long people actually watch your video. So now that you have gotten the click on your video, you want to maximize how long people actually stay on your video. And once again, it's not like people click on your video and then they watch the rest of your video, right? Watch the flow of the viewer. They click on your video and then they watch the first 5 seconds. So that means the hook needs to be optimized. And then they watch the first 30 seconds, which is your intro. So the intro has to be optimized. And only then do they watch the rest of your video, right? If you really look at how viewer graphs work, right? If you look at your retention graph, really your retention graph will look something like this, right? There'll be a massive drop off and then there'll be a taper off. And then you always see inside your YouTube studio that this is like your 30 seconds, right? So in the first 30 seconds for YouTube is where you have the biggest drop off in viewers. And so you need to maximize the amount of time that you spend inside of the hook, because that will determine how long people actually stay for, right? If you have 50% of people stay at the end of the hook versus, having, let's say, 20%, that is a massive difference, right? 20%, if you're able to raise your 20%, retention in the first 30 seconds to 50%, you basically 2.5x your views, 2.5x the number of views that you get, which is a tremendous difference, right? So watch time is dictated, not just by how long people watch, right? I would claim that actually watch time is mainly affected by your first 30 seconds. And actually, once you can get the most number of people retained within the first 30 seconds, you can go on to retain them for, the next, for the next 10 minutes, the next 20 minutes. And then the rest of the video, that's where you use techniques like having open loops, having good storytelling in order to hook the viewer and hold retention. But where most people fail is that their first 30 seconds aren't even optimized, right? So if you're struggling with your first 30 seconds, I highly recommend that you follow a simple framework for writing hooks. So that means in terms of my hooks, I follow 3 steps. Number 1 is I want to validate the click, right? So that means that when I'm saying that, let's say the title of the video is how I grew to 10,000 subscribers, right? And let's just keep it simple at that. When I validate the click, I want to say in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I grew my YouTube channel from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. That is immediately validating the click. And then number 2, what I want to do is I want to have an open loop, right? Plus add context, right? So an open loop is something that adds curiosity for the viewer, right? And then you want to give the viewer some sort of context to cling on to. So for example, let's say I say, in this video, I'm going to show you how I grew from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. And this didn't require me to edit videos myself, create thumbnails myself, or even write any of these scripts myself. So then I'm adding open loop. It's like, hey, you minus all of the risk of having to edit videos, edit thumbnails, and now I'm intrigued as to how he actually done it. Because if you want to grow to 10,000 subscribers, how can you not edit a single video? Or how can you, not do any of those things like create thumbnails that many people are saying that you need to grow to 10,000 subscribers? So that adds an additional line of an open loop. And then number 3, you want to establish credibility, right? So if you notice at the very start of this video, I said, my name is Brian, and I've helped my clients generate $20 million in revenue. So you want to establish credibility, and then you want to establish the expectations for the video. So exactly what you're going to be talking about. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact roadmap on how to grow from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. And just like that, you have the hook all in one. If you're struggling with your first sentences, I would start with this 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then you can go from there. So there you go. That is how you optimize your hook and really how you optimize your watch time. So last but not least, it is your viewer satisfaction. And viewer satisfaction, just to define some terms, is defined by, is the viewer staying on the platform after watching, right? And it is measured by, a plethora of things, including the likes that you give, the comments that you write, the session time. So session time means how long you spend on YouTube after watching that video. So let's say I watch one YouTube video and another video, and I stay on YouTube for an hour, then my session time will be 1 hour. Or the session time on your channel, meaning that once I watch one video, do I watch another video, do I watch another video, do I watch another video of yours? Or do I watch your video and then immediately go to another YouTube channel? And lastly, how often does your viewers log back onto YouTube? So if your video caused the viewer to log back more onto YouTube, then that signals to the YouTube algorithm that, hey, this video is actually a very, very good video. I'm going to start pushing it to more people because, it keeps people on the platform. So why is viewer satisfaction defined as is the viewer staying on the platform after watching? Because if your video is something that is really, really powerful and actually gets the viewer to stay on the platform, that is productive to what YouTube's goal is. Think of what YouTube is. YouTube is a startup. Basically, what YouTube wants is for people to stay on their platform so that they can run more ads for advertisers, and that's how YouTube gets paid. Advertisers pay YouTube money so that YouTube will run those ads to its users. So when people spend more time watching videos on YouTube, then that is a sign that YouTube can make more money from ads. That is the incentive of YouTube. So if your video is able to get people to stay on the platform for longer, that is actually very, very productive to the goals of YouTube. So the way that you create videos is aligned with YouTube's incentives. So it's maximizing the number of likes that people make, comments that people make, and ultimately more important than anything is how long they spend on YouTube. So that is just making a good piece of video that people not just watch from start to finish, but when they watch from start to finish, they're more than happy to continue watching videos on your channel and actually stay on the platform. So number one, that is making good content that is in line with exactly what the viewer is expecting, so that they are happy by the end of their session time, so that they don't feel like they've been scammed out of their time. So it's important to make truthful videos, no misinformation or nothing like that, nothing that is just rage bait for people, and stuff that keeps people on the platform. So that's like we're doing your end screen call to action, where at the very end of your video you incentivize people, click on the next video that you have, so that they actually stay on the platform. Viewer satisfaction is one of those really, really important things. You want to make sure that you actually deliver with good content, with good scripts, with good editing. By far, really, really important if you want to have channel longevity, so that people come and stay and watch your videos for a very, very long time. Really, if you follow these three metrics, your click-through rate, your watch time, and your viewer satisfaction, and you follow the YouTube algorithm gods, Mr. Neil Mohan, you're actually going to do very, very good. And focus on your click-through rate very first. Secondly, focus on your watch time, and thirdly, focus on your viewer satisfaction. And I believe that you will go viral using this formula. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.